So, in my country, once the communists took over, one of their favorite pastimes was rewriting history. And they found a poet by the name of Mihai Eminescu, which, by all accounts, led a very wealthy life. He was definitely part of the bourgeois. And the communists were faced with a little bit of a conundrum. How can we elevate someone to the status of national poet if he is part of the bourgeois? So they rewrote his life and they tried to make him as if he lived in poverty, was impoverished, a member of the people. And they did this constantly with many figures, basically rewriting history. And this is how I interpret this change that the BBC is reporting on. That a museum reclassifies Roman Emperor as a trans woman. Like, for thousands of years, no one figured this out. Now, no other nation, no other country, it's just now. And it just so happens that it is when trans is trending, right? Like when trans issues are being discussed more than the economy, they're being discussed more than inflation, they're being discussed more than actual international conflicts. It's all that is on TV, and now all of a sudden, a museum reclassifies as a Roman emperor as a trans woman. So, how exactly did they figure it out? Well, apparently, in their infinite wisdom, they said that it comes after classical texts which claim that the emperor once said, "Call me a lord, no, call me not a lord, for I am a lady." So, in other words, hearsay. Anyone that understands history will know that it is very difficult to genuinely understand a historical figure due to the fact that most information comes from third parties, which are heavily biased. Especially when it comes to the Roman emperors, many of these texts are not just biased, but often politically motivated. Imagine, if you will, 2,000 years from now, people trying to understand history, and they would find my YouTube videos. I mean, when they try to learn about Greta Thunberg through my YouTube videos, they're going to have a very skewed understanding of who she is. Same with AOC, same with Hillary Clinton. It's due to the fact that, yes, I am politically motivated and I do have my biases. Although I do try my best in order to announce people when, I mean, you guys know I'm a right-winger, so you probably understand how I feel about individuals like Greta Thunberg, but historians are aware of this, right? And this particular text that they are talking about includes the works of one Cassius Dio, which was a senator and contemporary of the emperor, and he didn't really appreciate this emperor pretty much because he had a deviant lifestyle, if you will. And it's also the slang that people used back then. It's also part of the vocabulary. You see, political correctness wasn't invented at the time, and to call someone a woman, to say that this person is a lady, you're basically using effeminate language. He's basically trying to say that he was weak. He wasn't a strong emperor. He wasn't capable of ruling. That's how you're supposed to interpret the text. You're not supposed to just, so in this one text, this one guy called this person a she, and therefore the emperor was trans. It doesn't work that way. Like if the emperor was actually trans, like, first of all, it would be impossible. Especially when you look at the way the Roman Empire worked. It would only allow for men to fulfill the role of emperor. So the idea that, like, none of his retinues, none of the people surrounding him, his wife, like, literally no one realized that he is actually a woman, especially when, again, like, he was a weak emperor, like, he wasn't, someone that you would fear. But like no one realized that he was a woman, and he actually managed to maintain this charade for all of his lifetime. Is bewildering, right? Like you would have historians mention this. It would be. I mean, there have been other emperors that were considered to be bastards, and many historians were talking about it. Or you had other emperors that were gay, or like other things, and they were talking about it. But the idea that like this gentleman happened to be a woman and just like one text mentions it in passing, goes to show that there is no validity to the claim. And it's also possible, because yes, like this emperor is renowned for his sexual promiscuities, that when he said he's a woman, it can also mean that he liked taking it up the ass, right? But like to interpret it in this way shows political bias. That like you're just doing it. Okay, so trans issues are in vogue now. We're going to look good with activists, and we're going to look like pro-LGBT, raise our ESG score if we do this. And your job as a museum should be to preserve history and try to interpret it as best as possible, not to win the political award for the current day. Like they're expecting a standing ovation now, and then it's like, oh, well, anyone that doesn't respect the emperor's pronouns is a transphobe bigot, probably. And it's like, it's only polite, respectful to be sensitive to the identifying pronouns of people in the past. Like, why? Who the fuck cares about people that died 2,000 years ago? Why should I? No, it's not only polite and respectful. You are creating this mentality that doesn't exist. Like, this mentality doesn't exist in other places. The idea that if you... Because the whole thing with misgendering, right? Like, what does it mean? It means that... And this is something that academics have created, right? They're basically saying that if you misgender people, it leads to suicide. And ironically, this is what they believe, right? This is why they're upset at people like J.K. Rowling. Like, this is why they say that she's causing a genocide. Like she believes... they believe that if you misgender people, it causes real-world harm. But this person is dead for more than 2,000 years. What harm are we talking about? Right? Like, you're not applying your own standards that you said. There is no logic into your things. If the person is dead and you're not respectful to them, who the fuck cares? It does make sense, like, if it's a person that died recently, and you should be respectful because their family may suffer. But, like, if the person is a Roman fucking emperor, get the fuck out. So yeah, this is my observations. This very interesting rewriting of history. Started with Netflix, now it goes with museums, eh? Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.